Live from the 412, it's Platts Point of View, y'all. Let's go. What's up, everybody? I'm Platt, and this is Platts Point of View, where I give you my opinions and thoughts on sports locally and nationally. We honor the old school, new school, and our old school, new school segment. I'll profile a few youngsters in our high school spotlight. We got the Mark My Words segment, and later on, I'll tell you who needs to turn up and get lit. So let's get started. The Super Bowl champs, LA Rams. Man, what a game. The Rams were all in this season, trading quarterback Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford, which was a heck of a move, adding pass rusher Von Miller, and adding Odell Beckham later on in the season, even signing aging veteran safety Eric Weddle off the streets for the playoff run. Man, and how about Aaron Donald? He had 2 sacks in the Super Bowl win over the Bengals. Aaron Donald is the new Reggie White, hands down. Wide receiver Cooper Kupp, he's a monster too. He was the Super Bowl MVP. All Cooper Kupp does is catch touchdowns. Shout out to the Rams. Hopefully, y'all won't win it again. Steeler Nation's coming back. Nah, shout out to the Rams, though, man. Great Super Bowl. So being in the NFL season is over, we're going to talk about the draft. We got some Senior Bowl standouts. This 2022 Senior Bowl was played recently. There's several players that stood out. Here's a few guys who caught my eye. Wide receiver Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. 6'4", 210 pounds, 4.4 speed. Watson was voted best wide receiver during practices at the Senior Bowl. Watson has good size, speed, and consistently gets separation. I mean, if you go back and watch the Trey Lance highlights from North Dakota State, you'll see a lot of long bombs were to Christian Watson. He's going to be a gamer. He kind of reminds me of Claypool, a little smaller though. You know what I mean? Keep an eye on him, Watson. Next up, who got busy at the Senior Bowl, defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia. He's 6'3", 307 pounds. Wyatt had scouts talking all week. His lateral quickness was praised by many. Wyatt has superb upper body strength. His feet are always moving while he's working against blockers. Wyatt pretty much solidified his status as a first-round draft pick. I like Wyatt a lot. I think he's a game wrecker, and he's going to be very explosive in the NFL. Another guy who caught my eye, offensive tackle Trevor Pinning out of Northern Iowa. Pinning 6'7", 330 pounds. Pinning is a massive, underrated tackle who plays with a mean streak. He's a heck of a run blocker, and a lot of D linemen, they were upset with him at the Senior Bowl, because Pinning, he gave a little bit of extra. He had an attitude. He was pushing guys after the play, but guess who loved it? The offensive line coaches, they loved it. He has a physical, punishing demeanor he plays with. Pinning, he's probably going to sneak into the first round after a very impressive senior week, man. This guy's going to be a pancake order for somebody. Steelers draft team. Next up, running back Damien Pierce out of Florida. Pierce is about 5'9", 220 pounds. Scouts raved all week about Pierce's pass blocking skills. Most young running backs, they struggle with pass protection, and that's proven fact. Not Pierce, he aced the test all week. Pierce also displayed good vision and a burst through the hole and showed his versatility by displaying his hands as a receiver out of the backfield. Pierce definitely improved his stock. I like this running back, man. I think he's going to be all right in the league. We got an NFL draft profile up next. Outside linebacker James Houston out of Jackson State. 6'1", 230 pounds. HBCU, baby. He had 16 and a half sacks, 70 total tackles, 24 and a half tackles for loss, 7 forced fumbles. This Florida transfer was one of the standouts at the East-West Shrine Bowl. Houston is a very intriguing prospect. Houston is a game-wrecking edge pass rusher. Do not sleep on this kid. I'm telling you. 2021 FCS All-American, SWAC Conference Newcomer of the Year, first team All-SWAC defense. Houston is going to have double-digit sacks before his career is over, guaranteed. Let's move on to the NBA. I have some NBA news. The NBA trade deadline came and went. The blockbuster trade, James Harden for Ben Simmons, it definitely happened, as did a bunch of other trades. And I know for a fact James Harden is smiling, because for the second time in a little over a year, Harden has gotten exactly what he wanted. Another move from a situation he no longer wanted to be a part of. Anyway, here's a few other trades that went down. You got C.J. McCollum got traded to New Orleans for Nicole Alexander Walker, Thomas Sanaraski, and Didi Uzada. Pardon me if I messed his name up. Brooklyn, as we just talked, they traded James Harden and Paul Millsap to Philly for Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, and a 2022 first-round draft pick. The Washington Wizards, they traded Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans to Dallas for Kristaps Porzingis and a second-round pick. Also, the Washington Wizards, they traded Montrezl Harrell, Big Trez. They traded him to Charlotte for Ish Smith and Vernon Carey Jr. I'm still waiting on you, Vernon Carey. You're a big man with skills. I know you could do it, man. Let's go. Also, Boston, they traded Josh Richardson and my man Romeo Langford out of Indiana and a 2022 first-round pick to San Antonio for Derek White. Derek White's all right, man. He's pretty solid. Another trade, Marvin Bagley, he went to Detroit. Serge Ibaka went to Milwaukee in a 4-team deal. Also, the LA Lakers not making any moves was a shocker. But General Manager Rob Pelinka, he claims they're going to explore the buyout market. I'm hearing they want Spurs point guard Goran Dragic, who is expected to be bought out in the next coming days. Stay tuned. We're going to go to the college hoops now. College basketball, got teams and players to watch. Now, these teams, I'm not saying any of these teams will be national champs come March, but you best believe they're going to surprise a lot of teams, and one of these teams are going to make a deep run come March. Let's start off with the 11th ranked Providence Friars. This is the Friars' best start since the 2015-16 season. Providence is a well-balanced team, solid in offense due to strong rebounding and steady ability to get to the foul line. They're led by point guard Jared Bynum. He's coming in at 11 points a game, 4 assists. He's a 45% three-point shooter. Also, forward, big Noah Horchler, he's 6'8". He averages 10 points, and he's shooting 43% from three-point range. Don't sleep. Providence is coming. Gonzaga is now the number 1 team in the country. All Gonzaga do is win. All they do is win. Only 2 losses this season. They lost to Duke and Alabama. The Bulldogs are currently on a 15-game winning streak. Forward Drew Timme is the catalyst. 17 points a game, 60% shooting from the floor. And how about super freshman big man Chet Holmgren? They are a formidable duo. My only question with Gonzaga, are they quick and athletic enough to handle the more athletic teams come March? You saw what Baylor did to them last year. You seen what Alabama did to them. Those are athletic teams. We'll see come March. Purdue, the Boilermakers, they're ranked 7th in the country. This team is an offensive juggernaut. You hear me? Straight offensive juggernaut. Purdue has 75 points as soon as they enter the arena. Purdue is number 1 in the nation in offensive efficiency, and they're the best rebounding team in the Big Ten. Combo guard Jaden Ivey is the man. 17 points a game, 5 rebounds. He's shooting 48% from the floor, and he's a 40% three-point shooter. He makes the Boilermakers go. I got a funny feeling about this team, man. Interesting. Also, 7'4" center Zach Edey for Purdue. 15 points a game, 7 rebounds. He's shooting 68% from the floor. He's no slouch either. This team has Final Four written all over it. Another team, the 21st ranked USC Trojans. Head coach Andy Enfield has a team mixed in with veterans and some graduate transfers and so on. USC started the season 13-0. They're 7-4 since. Come on, USC. But USC is a very tall and long team, which can be a defensive nightmare for opponents. USC is led by 6'10" Isaiah Mobley, Evan Mobley's brother. He leads the Trojans with 14 points a game, 8 rebounds. He's a 39% three-point shooter. Mobley is a matchup problem for anybody. Also, they added Memphis transfer combo guard, my man Boogie Ellis. Seems like Boogie Ellis has been around forever. 12 points a game, 36% three-point shooter. He's been solid all season. And also, they got a swing man named Drew Peterson. He's basically USC's point forward. He's coming in at 11 points a game, shooting 46% from the floor. He's a 39% three-point shooter. The Trojans should at least make it to the second weekend of March Madness. So we shall see. Now, let's move on to the NCAA players to watch. First up, we got my guy, senior point guard Colin Galepsy out of Villanova. He's about 6'1". He's averaging 17 points, 3 assists, 45% shooter, 43% three-point shooter, and he's shooting a blazing 91% from the foul line. Anytime this Dynamo point guard is on the floor for Villanova, the Wildcats have a puncher's chance. It seems like he's been at Villanova forever. But guess what? He brings leadership, and he has a high basketball IQ. Galepsy's ability to shoot, score, and distribute makes Villanova a formidable foe every game. He's scrappy. The Wildcats guard would have fight with him. Next up, you got junior forward E.J. Liddell out of Ohio State. 6'7", 240 pounds. Right now, he's averaging 20 points a game, 7 rebounds. He's shooting 52% from the floor, and now he's added three-pointer to his game. He's a 40% three-point shooter. This bulky, undersized power forward has now become a matchup nightmare since he became a three-point threat this season. Liddell is too quick and skilled for most centers and too strong for a lot of fours. I smell NBA for this guy. Next up, you got a senior center, Kofi Cockburn out of Illinois. Cockburn, 7 feet, 280 pounds. Right now, he's averaging 21 points a game, 11 rebounds. He's shooting 60% from the floor. Cockburn is a physically overwhelming force in the middle for the Fighting Illini. Cockburn is like a mini Shaq. Kofi Cockburn draws 7 fouls per 40 minutes, which ranks 7th in the nation. He has a long career coming in the NBA. Next up, you got a freshman forward, Jabari Smith out of Auburn. 6'11", 245 pounds. He's averaging 15 points a game, 6 rebounds. He's shooting 39% from three-point range. This guy's one of the best freshmen in the country. You heard me? One of the best freshmen in the country. Smith can score on all 3 levels. He has good instincts around the rim, and Smith will be a top NBA draft pick guarantee. I like Smith's game a lot. Another guy, junior shooting guard Johnny Juzang out of UCLA. 6'7". He averaged 17 points. He's averaging 17 points a game, 5 rebounds, and he's a 37% three-point shooter. Funny thing is, Johnny Juzang averaged 2 points per game as a freshman at Kentucky before transferring to UCLA. He was basically unstoppable in March last season, leading UCLA to the Final Four, averaging 22 points a game. Juzang has a smooth mid-range game, and he can get his shot whenever. Juzang is, in my opinion, is the best shooting guard in college basketball. He's another guy that should get picked early in the NBA draft. He decides to come out. Last but not least, this is probably my favorite guy on this list. Y'all better get familiar with him. Sophomore power forward Kenny Lofton Jr. out of Louisiana Tech. This kid is huge. 6'7", 275 pounds, 17 points per game, 11 rebounds. He's shooting 54% from the floor. Lofton Jr. is a straight animal on the low block. He uses his frame and weight to make space and punish defenders. Lofton Jr. has a soft touch with both hands. He's a very aggressive rebounder that loves contact. He's the best player in Conference USA in my opinion. And if Louisiana Tech gets in the Ncaa tournament, there'll be a tough opponent to beat, and Kenny Lofton Jr. will be the reason why. And go to women's hoops, man. How about Caitlin Clark out of Iowa? This lady shooting guard is tough, man. She's averaging 27 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. She has 6 triple-doubles right now. 6 triple-doubles in Ncaa, leads Ncaa women's. Caitlin Clark, like I said, she's leading the nation in scoring and assists. She's arguably the best player in women's college basketball right now. At the rate she's going, we'll have to put her name alongside basketball legends like Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Miller. Clark has been on a tear lately. She scored 43 points against Ohio State and had a career-high 46 points against Michigan. Clark became the first Division I player in the last 20 seasons to record 45 points and 10 assists in a game. She also had back-to-back triple-doubles in consecutive games. Clark's feat of consecutive 30-point triple-doubles has never been accomplished in the WNBA and only accomplished by 6 players in the NBA in the 21st century. Clark is must-see TV. This girl is the truth. Check her out. It's old school, new school time, baby.
Old school, new school, youngest take notice. Old school, new school, youngest take notice. Old school, new school, youngest take notice. Old school, new school, y'all.
Let's start with old school. Mo Vaughn, first baseman who played 13 seasons of Major League Baseball. Vaughn played for Boston, the New York Mets, Anaheim Angels, but most notably got his name playing for the Boston Red Sox. His nickname, the Hit Dog. He was a 3-time All-Star. He was the American League Most Valuable Player in 1995 and also the Silver Slugger Award winner in 1995. Also, he's part of he was put in the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame. He was the American League RBI leader in 1995. He has a career batting average of .293, 328 home runs, and 1,064 RBIs. Mo Vaughn was a certified slugger, and he had a reputation as one of the most feared hitters in the mid-'90s. Vaughn was also known for crowding the plate. His batting stance looked like he was hovering over the strike zone, which intimidated pitchers into throwing outside pitches. Mo Vaughn was that guy. I was a big fan of Mo Vaughn, man. He had a brother named Greg Vaughn, too, for y'all that don't know. He played for Milwaukee. New school. Quarterback Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. All Joe Burrow did was complete 70% of his passes, which led the NFL. He threw for 4,611 yards, 34 touchdown passes, 14 inners, and 108 ratings. I'm not going to lie. Coming out of LSU, I like Joe Burrow, but I was more of a Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence kind of guy. Boy, have times changed. It's something about this Joe Burrow. People don't know. Joe Burrow was an all-state point guard at Athens High School in Athens, Ohio. He's more athletic than people think. He's a very accurate passer with great pocket presence. His ball placement is on point like an archer. He's mobile with advanced field vision for a second-year NFL quarterback. Yeah, he got the Bengals to the Super Bowl, although they came up short. Joe Burrow and the Bengals will be battling for playoff position every year in the AFC, and Joe Burrow's going to make sure of that. Let's move on to the mark my words. Mark my words. Mark my words. Mark my words. The Memphis Grizzlies will advance past the first round of the NBA playoffs. Ja Morant is on a mission. Memphis is coming. Don't sleep Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. too. They're coming. Memphis is coming. They're on a mission, I'm telling you. Mark my words. Duke freshman forward Paolo Banchero is the best player in college basketball and will win National Player of the Year. This kid reminds me of Chris Webber with a three-point shot so much. Check him out. You watch Duke basketball. Mark my words. Either Malik Willis or Sam Howell will be drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers and will be competing for the quarterback job next season. I just think Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett, he'll be off the board when the Steelers pick. That's just what I think. Mark my words. Free agent wide receiver Antonio Brown will not be on an NFL roster next season. Don't get it twisted. AB is a very, very talented wide receiver. But with well-publicized incidents in Pittsburgh, Oakland, New England, and Tampa, I just don't think any other team wants to put up with him in his foolishness. So we'll see, but I doubt it. Mark my words. The Brooklyn Nets will not win the NBA title this season. With Kyrie Irving being available part-time, James Harden just getting traded for Ben Simmons, and Kevin Durant currently out with an MCL injury, this spells nothing but doom for Brooklyn. Doom for Brooklyn. It's over. Mark my words. The Pittsburgh Penguins will win the Stanley Cup this season. Letang and Malkin will be free agents at the end of the season. Sid Crosby, he's hungry for his fourth ring. And Tristan Jarry has been a good goalie all season. He was an NHL All-Star this season. And the Penguins, they're all in this season. Expect a major playoff run. They're hungry, and they're tired of people disrespecting them. Let's go to the high school spotlight. Our spotlight today, we talk about City League Player of the Year from Westinghouse, running back Malik Harris, who recently committed to play football and further his education at the University of California, PA. Harris was a beast all season for the house. He ran for over 1,300 yards with 20 touchdowns. He helped Westinghouse get to the city championship and win 2 state playoff games. Good luck, Harris. Shout out to Coach Green, man. Last year was Darius Bruce. This year is Harris. You keep producing players, man. That's good, man. Much respect. Next up, you got a Pine Richland offensive tackle, senior Jaylen Klim, 6'5", 265. He recently committed to Kansas State University. Klim is the son of former Steelers O-line coach Adrian Klim. I'll be watching out for them, man, for both of you guys. Next up, how about Bell Vernon standout Devin Whitlock, He recently announced he will accept Pitt's offer as a partial walk-on at Pitt for football. He's one of the most versatile, dynamic athletes in Western Pennsylvania. He chose that route over scholarship offers from Youngstown State, St. Francis, and Duquesne, and a couple other schools. Whitlock threw for over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he rushed for over 1,100 yards with 23 touchdowns. He was also a beast as a punt returner and kick returner. I think Whitlock will make the Pitt roster and make immediate impact as a return specialist. This guy's nice. Also, how about the freshman scoring duo at Neighborhood Academy? Guard Shamar Simpson and Courtney Wallace. Shamar Simpson's averaging 25 points a game. Courtney Wallace is averaging 19 points a game. This duo is averaging 45 points combined. Wallace is the son of former Perry High School Duquesne University standout Courtney Wallace. Neighborhood Academy has qualified for the WPIAL playoffs single A. Good luck, Shamar, and y'all guys, man. Hopefully y'all can get it. Get to the WPIAL title game. I'll be paying attention. Now let's turn up and get lit.
Turn up and get lit. It's time to turn up and get lit, man, for real. Turn up and get lit.
Lack of black NFL head coaches. There's only 5 minorities in the NFL coaching right now. The NFL claims it wants to increase minority representation from the front office to the field. Sounds like another lie to me, man. Come on, man. Y'all, Pinocchio, sound like a lie. I mean, there's a lot of qualified minority candidates out there. It comes down to decision makers and owners opening up their eyes and trusting black men to lead their franchises. So with that being said, I know the coaches are already, all the positions are took, but here's a few guys that deserve a shot, man, within these next couple years. You got Eric Bieniemy. Bieniemy, the #1 offensive coordinator in today's game. He's been to 4 AFC championships, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and 1 Super Bowl win. He's coaching Pat Mahomes, man, the best offense. How could he not be a head coach? Another guy, I love this guy right here, Jim Caldwell. Since he left, guess what? The Detroit Lions haven't made the playoffs since he left. Caldwell helped mold Matthew Stafford, Andrew Luck, and Peyton Manning. He's a leader of men. He can understand these NFL players today. Another guy, this guy is under the radar. Fred Mcnear from Alcorn State. Yes, he's the older brother of the late, great Steve Mcnear. Fred Mcnear played in the CFL, the Arena League, USFL, etc. He's been Alcorn State's head coach since 2016. All Mcnear has done, won 4 SWAC division titles, 2 conference titles. He also was the quarterback coach at Alcorn State before he was promoted to head coach. Give him a look, man. He could be a good NFL coach. Another guy, Byron Leftwich. It's a shame he ain't got no coaching job right now. All Byron Leftwich did was have Tom Brady, a 44-year-old Tom Brady, lead the NFL in passing under the guidance of Leftwich. He should be an NFL head coach sooner than later. And last but not least, Jared Mayo, the former linebacker. Yes, this former top 10 pick is in his 3rd year as inside linebacker coach for the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick and many around the NFL love his work ethic and ability to connect with today's NFL players. NFL, get it together. It's so sad. It's 2022 and we're still having this conversation. It doesn't make sense. Turn up and get lit, Roger Goodell. It's time for a change. Let's make a change. NFL, it's time. And that'll do it for another episode of Platts Point of View. We'll see you next time. Out.
CJ on the